Hello all, I'm Patrice. I'm a singer-songwriter, voice coach for over 15 years, and today I want to break down for you the big difference between oh yeah, that and oh yeah. What are those two different tones happening, and how do we do them properly? That's the trick. Let's go, my friends. Okay, so what I want to go over with you all is there's two different tones, which ultimately means quality of sound, that are happening in the higher range. And what I demoed for you in the beginning there is what is called belt versus head voice. Both of those higher range, but one of them, little hint here, yeah, is more full, big, rich, and one is a little lighter, a little bit more delicate. So one big question that I get when it comes to the higher range is how do you do those with control, right? Because that's what we want to do. And to be able to switch between them effortlessly. And what I want to say with that is it comes with time. Now you might not like that answer, I know, but there are certain technical things that you can be doing that are really going to help for you to be able to hit those more effortlessly and be able to produce them by switching them on and off, which is what we want. So let me break down a couple technical things that I work with all my artists on that need to be happening when it comes to those two zones. And that is, first of all, we want to be thinking higher stuff, more support, my friends. We need to be using those muscles there. So if you haven't already, check out another one of my videos, but you need to be trying diaphragmatic breathing. So that's number one. Number two, my friends, we need to be opening more when it comes to the higher stuff. So when I'm going for those higher notes, if I am not opening, that's gonna pinch the sound. It's gonna sound so bad. So we do not want that. All right, my friends? And another key thing is, so we wanna be breathing, yeah, using the support here, opening more. And another huge thing, I call this my secret weapon, is we wanna be thinking hard palate action, right? By utilizing that, we can hit those notes effortlessly because, and I totally said that kind of weirdly, because it's going to help to create a reinforcement of the sound by utilizing that hard palate, which is right here, that's the front part of the roof of the mouth. Think of it like your beautifully built-in cave, right? So when you're going for either head voice or belt, you want to be using and thinking of those mechanics. Now the biggest difference between those two, if we're doing all the same kind of things, is with belt, we use the most support, right? I would say it's a pretty shout, but you don't want to be like, yeah, just like screaming. You want it sounds like controlled. And that, my friends, is where the hard palate action comes in. So we want to be thinking here, eyes open, up, over and out on that end. And then the difference between that belt and that head voice is a little lighter. So we still need enough support. I would say it's like running on your tippy toes for that one. Right? But you're a little bit lighter on that. You don't need to push as much. Still need support. But that's one of the bigger difference. And a lot of times people say to me, Patrice, which one should I use when working on songs? And that, my friends, is where I go to, well, what is the emotion of the song? Because the two of them have very different feelings, right? If I did, never, wherever you are, right? I do that, or I do, never, wherever you are. Those just feel differently. So that's what I'd say when you're deciding, is figure out the emotion and go from there. All right, I hope this helped you understand those two different tones a lot better and to be able to do them with, what do I want to say, purity, less pressure, and feel better. I guess I always say, drop a comment if this helped, be sure to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.